Okay, it's hard to know where to start with this video. I've just been thinking of all the things that I've wanted to say and all of the ways that I've been frustrated. And so I'm going to tell you about them in this ramble. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to express the feelings that I have to express, but I just have to say them and I have to talk this out because that's the kind of person I am. I talk things out to get them out and to process them and to understand. It had to have been about a month ago that I just started dealing with a lot of hateful comments online again. And if you've been around here in the past, you know that there are no shortage of judgments and crappy comments that come from all over the place. And typically, I ignore them. The times where I don't ignore them is when they are in high volume and they are just really going at me for things that like I can't change, or that maybe I can change but I don't care to change, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And recently it's just gotten worse to a point where I have thought about quitting my job as a blogger to do something else where I'm not as visible, or I'm not doing the thing that I love, or basically that I'm just like out of people's brains. And there was a moment where that felt okay for me. And then I kept thinking, like, why do I want that? Why am I doing that? Like, is it because I want to do it? Because the answer was no. I love being my own boss and owning my own company and seeing the ways that I've been able to build it from the ground up. So it wasn't about like a loss of passion for the work or just not wanting to do the job anymore, or wanting to do something new. It was purely because of the comments that I was getting online. These comments were hateful and judgmental and fatphobic and just disgusting, like in a way that I've never received before. And normally I can stomach that and I can, I don't know, get over it. Like, I take it, I move on, it's fine. But it's the volume and the direct attacks on who I am and what I look like. This was then exacerbated by the fact that I recorded a video for a brand partner that I love working with. And something went wrong in the color correction stage of the process, and my video became oversaturated. My skin tone looked very weird, and a lot of the comments on the videos were about how weird and alien and Donald Trump-like I looked. And I knew that it wasn't my fault, so I just kind of like swallowed it. I commented back to a few of the comments, and then I was like, it's not worth my time, it's not worth my energy. But I knew it wasn't my fault at the end of the day. So I was like, I look how I look in the video, I can't do anything about it, whatever. I mean, people made other comments about my hair, about the overall weirdness of my skin tone. People did not comment on the food, which was the whole point of the video. And we'll get to why that's annoying later. But for me, I think I've always had like issues of image. I hate the way I look on camera. I have always had a very round face and full cheeks. So when I gain weight, I gain it all in my face. And that weight in my face makes me look a lot bigger than I am. Just a lot of insecurities that feel like they're not going away, and that I've worked extremely hard to push away and to not have anymore, and to not take stock and believe in those things. But at the end of the day, when things bother you, they bother you. And so I found this great community, amazing people who are so lovely and so kind, But every so often, that just like really shitty comment gets under my skin. It just does. Like, it's just the way that it is. Like, it just happens. And all of the goodness and the kindness gets overshadowed by that criticism. And that sucks. It's hard. So after I had this brand thing happen, I talked to a fellow blogger who essentially said, and the words were coming from the right place, but who essentially said, you know, you as a Black woman need to represent yourself better, because at the end of the day, like, we are forging a path for other people to be able to have these platforms. And so I can give you, you know, it like the number for a stylist. I can give you a number for a hair person and a makeup artist. And while well-intentioned, and I'm like thankful for the sharing of the resources, what I took away from that conversation and conversations that I've had like it are that I'm the person that needs to change to be more acceptable to other people. And that is completely and totally incorrect. At first, I digested that and I took it in as, okay, here are all the things that I need to change about myself to be more presentable, more acceptable, better looking, more engaging, whatever. And then I kept thinking to myself, but my client is happy. My client did not complain about the videos. My client is getting millions of views on the videos that I created for them. My content is awesome. My recipes rock. If people can't see those things about me, then that is not my problem. If somebody can look at a stunning video that I did and they feel like their inclination is to say, well, she's ugly, but this video is about food and recipes, like, I can't help them. I can't help that. And that's what they're gonna think. And no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how great your recipes are, people are going to find something about you to nitpick. And that's just how it is. That is how people are. And hearing that, and then my first thought being, okay, well, I need to change and I need to do something differently, really, quite frankly, pissed me off. Like, I got mad at myself, because I was like, why do people tell me that I need to change who I am instead of telling people that they need to change their shitty behavior and not make rude comments about people that they don't know, and not poke fun at people just because they're sitting behind a keyboard. That's all people do day in and day out, while I am literally working and getting jobs and booking projects and doing a great job building my business. And I'm sitting there like taking to heart that I'm being criticized by somebody, one, that I don't know, two, that doesn't know me, and three, that is saying these things literally behind a keyboard and not even to my face. And that's wrong. And the fact that, you know, people have told me that I need to make the change within my outward appearance to be acceptable enough for people is a huge part of the problem. It took me some time to think to myself about what I should do from here. And it's not quitting my stuff. It's digging deeper and doing more and doing better and showing people that I have the potential to do amazing things despite what I look like. The other thing here is also I keep having to remember also, I am not an ugly person. Like, I'm not. So I don't know. I think a lot of what's being said is really funny, and it's maybe just like the camera adds 10 pounds and maybe my hair wasn't perfect that day and I didn't like have the perfect thing to wear. But I think like at the end of the day, like those things just don't matter, y'all. They don't matter. And the fact that lots of people could make me feel so badly that I felt like this wasn't something that I wanted to do anymore, like, I don't know why it got to me so much. So I am doing a lot of things to protect my peace. On Instagram, I'm no longer letting people who don't follow me or who I don't follow comment on my stuff anymore. My stuff's not open. And for someone to leave a comment, they have to be somebody who is actively engaged with my platform. I'm not taking commentary from strangers anymore. The other thing that I did was decide not to read anything that isn't on my own platforms about me. And I think that's a really healthy thing to do, because those comments that people leave anonymously can drag you so far over the deep end. And I just don't want that for myself anymore. I don't think that that's healthy. I don't think that it's something that I need to pay attention to, because a lot of times the comments on other platforms don't matter. It's what people are saying to me and DMing me and emailing me and messaging me. I think those things are far more important, and those are the things that I need to pay the most attention to. I think the other thing that I'm also doing is just taking steps to affirm that I love myself and I love the way that I am. And so I'm not taking unsolicited advice about my looks anymore, about how I talk anymore, about what I wear. I'm just not. Like, you can send it, but I'm not listening to it. I'm not looking for it. I didn't ask for it, so I don't want it. And I think that those are really, really important things to me. Lastly, I called my best friend last week and cried, like sobbed on the phone, because I was so hurt and so upset by a lot of these comments. And she knows more than anybody, because she helps to manage Hangry Woman, that a lot of these comments are like brutal sometimes, and that I get them far too often. And I just came to a breaking point where I couldn't hold it in anymore, and I couldn't do it. And so I cried on FaceTime, sobbing into the phone. She looked at me like, oh God, because I am not a crier. I don't spontaneously cry. Like, it has to be like a huge moment and huge situation. And she did something pretty incredible with the help of a lot of my friends. And she created this beautiful book of comments and just beautiful sentiments, the kindest messages from people that I love, people who follow the Hangry Woman and who have said like some of the nicest things to me, and gave me this book because I am a person who loves words of affirmation. And so now I have this like Hangry Woman affirmations book that is full of messages from people who were kind enough to say that I've made a difference for them somehow, and I'm doing something that they enjoy. I'm gonna leave you with the end of this video with the letter and the note that Katie left for me in the book. She recorded a video of it so that I could watch it, and I want you to think about the words in it, and a lot of it applies to me. But if you ever doubt yourself, or you ever feel upset or down, or you feel like you just didn't do as much as you wanted to, or you haven't done enough, or somebody's telling you that you aren't enough, I want you to listen to her letter, and I want you to reflect on those words and changing the way that you feel about yourself. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you like this video, make sure that you leave a comment, that you subscribe, and you give it a thumbs up. And here are the kindest words that I've ever heard from anyone.
Okay, please record this. I'm nervous. If you fall, I'm gonna be real mad. Okay. Hello. Hi. Well, I'm ready to go about frantic. Oh, man.
I'm loving your little bow look.
Thank you. I got 2 of them, and then I went to Amazon and I bought 12. So, quite working how I anticipated. Sit right here. Are you pregnant? No. I mean, as far as I know, no. Okay. I have a present for you.
What?
So get comfortable.
What is this? Is this a whole recorded video? What?
Here, hold on. Let me get you the tray so you can put your drink down. Oh my god. I tried to play it on the TV. It's not working, so we're gonna watch it on my computer. It's on. Let's turn this off.
6 years.
Oh,
Because I
same.
have not been outside, and so I was like, I don't even have a jacket to go outside. I don't know.
I went outside to go to the crawfish, and I had my jacket on, and I was like looking out because he was driving, and I was like, there's so many more buildings here, like down I-10. I was like, I literally haven't not been driving down I-10 in a year. Like, I don't know. Okay, so go ahead and press play. I think it's at the beginning.
Okay. This is so weird. What?
I know. It's okay. You guys know that my best friend Mila is known as the Hangry Woman all over the internet. She has a blog, she's all over social media, and she advocates for those with diabetes. She creates content that shares her story to show people what it's like to live with diabetes. It is to be expected that when you're in the public eye, you're going to be subject to criticism. There's been a lot lately of ugliness and rude comments and criticism and just really, really mean things. And so a bunch of her friends and family and followers have worked together with me over the last couple of weeks to put together this book. I'm gonna read my note to her, which is the first page, to introduce what this is and then give it to her. Putting your life on the internet and being vulnerable and sharing intimate details of your health in order to help your community is a noble and worthy venture. Unfortunately, the more you are in the public eye, the more you are subject to scrutiny and criticism. The people who take the time to leave rude and hurtful comments are small, insecure in their own life, and probably jealous of your success and ability to open up. The rise of social media has made it easier to share your content to the masses, but it also has allowed these trolls to hide behind their keyboard and never face any consequence. Of course, we did expect this. No public figure is ever free from the haters, and the more successful you grow to be, the more they will show up. However, knowing and expecting this doesn't make actually reading those comments any easier. We are twinsies in a lot of ways, but one way that I keenly understand is that we have a shared love language, which is words of affirmation. I know that negativity and criticism can quickly and intensely crush your spirit, make you question everything, and tank your confidence. Knowing these people don't matter and that your content isn't for them anyway, and the comments are actually reflective of their own heart helps, but it's impossible to just ignore them when they're directed at you. With that though, I also know that words can quickly and intensely build you up. Words of love and encouragement can lift your spirit, confirm that you're on the right track, and boost your confidence. They motivate you to work harder and better, and they allow you to look past the haters. I don't understand why people are so cruel, but I do know that we have been called to love. Mark 12:30-31 says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second is, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. Not only are you literally my neighbor, you are my best friend, my sister, and someone I look up to and admire greatly. You have been there for me through the best and the worst times in my life, and I find such joy in cheerleading you and managing all of your Hangry Woman adventures. And that brings me to this gift. In this scrapbook, you will find hundreds of messages from family, friends, and followers. When the trolls show up, we will show up tenfold. When I was combing through all of your channels, it was overwhelming to me just how many positive comments I was gathering. So many that this isn't even all of them. And I know there are probably hundreds more in your direct messages that I didn't get. So for those, I have included a bunch of blank pages at the back and a glue stick so you can add comments as you get them. Keep creating, Mila. Keep working and pushing towards your goals. Do not let small and insignificant people stamp out your light. You are doing important work and serving a community that needs your advocacy. Your followers see themselves in you and they can relate to your story. Every day, you show them the reality of what living with diabetes is like. Yes, struggling with scripts and discussing options with doctors, and even being misdiagnosed. Showing these parts of your journey helps to advocate for the disparities in healthcare. You articulate in a relatable way what it's like to live with diabetes, something that people don't get from their doctor's office. But even more, you show that living a life with diabetes can be fulfilling and fun. Your work crushes the stigmas and educates the world so we can do better. In short, you show up every day, and the world is better for it. All of these people, thank you for what you do. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just looking at the glue stick. I forgot that part.
Katie, what? How could you forget the
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. This is why I couldn't come to your house.
I was like putting it together and it was all over the place. And I was like, she can't come now. So I had to lie to you and make like a lot of stories up. But
Oh my gosh.
there are lots of comments screenshotted. I was gonna go into your DMs and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna find in there, so I didn't. But I know there's more in there. But these are mostly like YouTube comments, blog comments, and then this is my letter that I just read. And then there's a lot of comments from a lot of our friends and family and literally everyone you know. So you'll have to read.
I just saw her today and she didn't even give it up. And
I know, I texted them too because I was like, please don't blow it.
this
There's
is like,
a lot.
I know we don't hug, but like,
I know.
this is the best gift ever.
Well, I hope that it
Oh
can
my
sit on your
gosh.
new office and you can look at it.
I'm gonna,
whenever
you know how I have
you-
those 30 acrylic stands?
Oh, yeah.
Prop it up on one of those.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my brother. I can't believe you did this.
I
Where
had
did you
to.
get this yellow
Oh, I
lacrosse?
printed it out. So I was working on it from when Kimberly was here because that's when it first started with I think it was the Helpline video, and then the YouTube video happened, and then last night happened, and so I started working on it. I was talking to Daniel and Kimberly. I was like, I just don't know like what is something I can do tangibly, because like I can sit here all day and be like, ignore them, and that's not true. Like these are true, but I don't know. It's just not the same me saying it, you know, versus like seeing it from everyone. So then Daniel actually thought, why don't you like print out all the words of affirmation and put them in together in a scrapbook? And I was like, done. So
This is so cool. This is like all of the things that I just, like, it's like what I needed in one place, you know?
yeah, especially after the past few weeks, I think it's you just like sleep with it. I don't know, like
Going under my pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I vlogged it for you with this, and then I did record your reaction. I'm sure you was on my phone, but
I did. What's going on?